Hi, yes, hello. It's episode 23 of the MC Report. I just wasted about an hour of my life realizing the mic wasn't on, so we're going to speed run through where I was. I'm leading by 30 games. You can pause whenever. I'm going to go incredibly quick. Winning by 30 games was one game ahead. Let's keep it rolling. The Spurs beat us pretty quickly with Wemby now injured. We'll see if they do well, but, losing by 13, whatever. This game even worse. The Rockets decimated us. We had to score 14 in the fourth, 12 in the fourth to lose by 11. So we really did not do well. The Pacers and the Bucks, just not very good teams. We beat both of them. And then we are going to do the playoffs and the play-in. Hornets, 1 point win, got them to the second round. They lost. I don't have it on the slides. Sorry about that. They lost to the Magic in a game that wasn't close. So they get their win here, though. LaMelo, infamously, good or bad, stepped on Bam's foot. That could obviously change some things. He got, I think, fined for that. But karma hit him because he played terrible in the second game. Went to OT. You can argue best game of the entire year. The Suns, more specifically the Trailblazers, played great. 4-point win over the Suns in Phoenix. They made themselves into the playoffs with a win of their own. And then the Sixers, very proud of my team, got into the playoffs. They played Boston. The Magic obviously getting in. They're having a battle with the Pistons as we speak. Warriors got the win over the Clippers. Kind of wish it was the Clippers instead of the Suns, but here we are. Obviously Curry, big game in the fourth quarter. Had to outscore the Clippers by 11 to win by 5. Good game by the Warriors. And then we head into the playoffs. The Cavs, 13-point win over the Raptors. They've decimated them in the series thus far. Harden and Mobley done very well in both games. Obviously, they led by 14 in the third, and then the Raptors had to put it back. Just couldn't get the job done. This series going back and forth, you're going to see these first two quarters, 10 points difference for each side. In this first game, I think the second one was either 19 or 14. So, very interesting. Jokic having an off series, and he's averaging a triple-double. So, that's interesting. But the Wolves couldn't get this first one. The Knicks, the question is, can Brunson be a number one on a different team? Or not a different team, on this team. I think he can. I just think he needs to prove himself more because the Hawks did get the second game. CJ McCollum, masterclass. We'll get to it. Braun, going quick. Up 2-0 on the series against KD. Didn't really do much in this one. Obviously a light 19, 8-13, plus 11, best on the team. And this is a game they just had control of, something you'd like to see, that third quarter, really separating themselves from the Rockets. This was a terrible game. Let's move on. Decimated us in all 4 quarters. Maxey didn't shoot well. Whatever. Thunder decimating the Suns. This series might end in 4. So that's something. This is a shock. The Magic. You don't know who's going to shoot. They all did well. Boncaro led with 23, but then plus 20 from Carter. Some good defense by him. Ethical Hoops got them 11-point win against the Pistons in Detroit. You love to see it. The Trailblazers losing to the Spurs in this first game. They did take the second. We'll talk about it. Denny, their best player, he didn't do very well. Wemby with 35. He's pretty good at basketball. As I said, the Cavs just decimating. Mobley, Ethical Hoops, once again, 11 for 13 shooting. A series that really has just been going like that for the Cavs. They've been in sync. 1-point win, but the big story, CJ McCollum, 32 points in 35 minutes, 1-1, a game in which it's the biggest choke lead by the Knicks since Reggie Miller with the Pacers. So, yeah, they got the win here. Dyson Daniels, what are you doing, bud? Wake up. As I said, 14-point difference. First and second quarter evened it out, but a big fourth quarter, 8-point difference. Got a 5-point win for the Wolves. We're flying through it here. DiVincenzo, the plus 20. I think he's most impactful there. And then the Sixers, as we said, evened up the series. You love to see it. We don't love to see Bono on the court. 22 minutes and nothing. But Tony Snell stat line. But Paul George, okay. Maxey, more so VJ. VJ, I'm using like this is a mic. VJ, obviously a big game. So you love to see it. Big win. They took one in Boston. Wemby got hurt, and they only lost by 3. I see this series, if Wemby plays the rest, ending in 5. Yeah, they look good. Klingon, you got to play a little bit better, buddy. 9 points, 4 for 12 shooting, but 1 for 6 from 3. But he did almost get a double-double. Minus 14, though. Yeah, this is a game that the Spurs, if they have Wemby, they definitely win. They just need to get the pace up a little bit. I think that Scoot scoring 32 is probably your main problem. You need to spread it out a little. As I said, Braun up 2-0 on KD, 28 points, 8 and 7. Marcus Smart, 35 minutes, 25 points. He hasn't done that since the COVID era. We move into predictions. I did do this already. Cavs up 2-0. I think Toronto gets a game. Oh, wait, no, this already happened. We crossed out Monday and Tuesday. Orlando, Detroit. I'm going to say Detroit takes it. They bounce back. Phoenix, OKC. Taking OKC to win in 4. I'm going to be honest. Hawks, New York. I think the Hawks take the first one. Same with Toronto. But Denver gets a game against Minnesota in this first one. Philly and Boston. I think Philly really needs a win. I think even after that other one, they're still behind. I feel like the momentum's still shifting. And obviously, the gears are shifting in Houston. They're going to get a win. They have a problem, but they can fix it. And then San Antonio, I'm going to see them taking one against Portland. And then we move into Saturday. Might be a bit of a shock. I'm going to take Orlando. I think they need another win. I think this series can go deep if they get this win. We'll see, though. We move into the next slide. As I said, Orlando takes down Detroit. OKC gets rid of Phoenix in 4. I say Minnesota ties up the series. I don't think they let them lose both at home. Toronto, I'm going to give, or not Toronto, excuse me. I'm going to give Cleveland the win here. They go up 3-1. I just don't see this Toronto team doing much. Sorry, Toronto. San Antonio going to take care of Portland. I'm going to say Boston and Houston. Houston ties up the series at 2. They take 2 at home. The home team is winning that series. But Boston ties the series up at 2, going back to Boston. Big game there. That is it for NBA action. You got all that? Good. We're moving on to NHL action. We're going to go quick with the regular season games. Flyers, 5-1 victory over the Devils. Not a very good team. 5-2 victory over the Devils. Not a very good team. Good win for the Penguins. I thought this had more playoff implications than it did. It did not. So they win 3-6. Yeah, Detroit on the outside looking in the entire time. This game didn't matter. To be honest, Washington just got the better of the Penguins. The Winnipeg sucks. That was terrible. And then all backups there. Capitals winning 3-0. Good win for them. And then this is really good morale for the Flyers headed into the playoffs. Their backups getting a shootout win. A series that they definitely needed, obviously. And I think the Hurricanes are a very solid team. You're going to see it in just a moment here. And then this is a game Penguins could have definitely won. I guess it helps them because the Blues have a little bit worse in terms of picks, but not what you want. And then Philly ending the series off, or the regular season off, with a good win against a solid opponent in Montreal. The Senators have just been a little bit off in both games. I don't think they stand a chance against the Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes are a much better team, but they've definitely shown cracks in their play. 2-0 against the Senators, not very good. Absolute blowout. Wasn't expecting it, but good stuff by the Wild. 6-1, dominant victory against a good Dallas team. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it in Game 2. The Kings have been hanging around. I'm very shocked by them, but they haven't been able to get a win as of this recording. It is Wednesday, 7:50 p.m. Trying to get through this quick here. 2-1 victory. We'll see, though, does this momentum stick up because they are up 2-0 in the series. Montreal getting one in Tampa, very impressive. I think Tampa is one of the toughest places to play in. And obviously the hat trick from Skolovsky. I hope I said that right. Lightning did tie the series up, though. The Sabres, the best comeback I've seen in a long time. Buffalo has had the longest drought in the entirety of sports, NHL, and the main four, MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL. They had the longest streak. They go into their first game down, I think, 3-0, and they score 4 straight to win it. You love to see it from the Sabres. They're really playing some playoff hockey. Nobody cares about this series. Golden Knights came back and they did a lesser version of the Sabres. Yeah, Penguins are cooked. If they don't get the first one in Philly, the series ends in 4. It may just go 5. I don't think it really matters. They really have not done anything to prove my point. I think the series ends in 6 if the Penguins don't get a win in Game 3. It ends in 4 or 6 Flyers either way. Penguins just have not looked any good. It's fast versus methodical, and fast is winning right now. So, good on the Flyers, a young team. This is a game the Senators needed. They needed to tie the series, and now they desperately need a win at home. We'll see if they get it. But the Hurricanes, double OT victory. Who doesn't love some playoff hockey? They get the win. Maduk, take less shots, buddy. 7, and you only made 1. Dallas ties up the series, a game in which they had control the entire time. Wyatt Johnston, 2 goals on 6 shots, 33% from the field. This is an NBA, though. Good stuff from the ice from Dallas. You got to keep this up if you want to win the series. I forgot this series existed, I'm not going to lie. I don't think either of these two teams do much, but the Oilers getting a solid win over the Ducks here. They take a 1-0 series lead in the game. They went back and forth, but they were able to squeeze it out in the third period. And then Tampa Bay getting an OT win right back, 3-2, a series in which they really need to get a win. You don't want to lose both to a Canadian team, really. But a game they needed because they're going to go to Canada to try and get a game. I think they probably do, but we'll see. The Lightning tie at 1. You can't play from behind the entire series, Buffalo. I know you want to, but you can't. You need to lock in. 4-2, Boston wins. Once again, trying to muster a comeback. They made it 3-2, but Boston put them away with a goal late. And in the series nobody cares about, it was back and forth. But Utah ties the series. And as we said, another OT game. The Kings are just a few plays away from maybe getting an upset. I think it's still possible, but they really need to get something going. Can't be down 2-1 to the best team in the entirety of the NHL. We got our predictions. Monday and Tuesday, not a thing. So we moved to Wednesday. Philly and Pittsburgh. I'm going to say Pittsburgh gets a game. I don't think it really matters. I think the series is done for. I'm going to take Minnesota and the Oilers. I think they just both win respectively. I just don't think the Ducks really have it right now. Buffalo and Boston. I'm going to take Boston once again. I'm going to take Ottawa to get a game, and same with the Kings. So we're going all home teams besides Pittsburgh on Thursday and Wednesday. If there wasn't, actually, we'll switch this. I'll give the Ducks the win. I think they need a bit more of an advantage than the Oilers. And then we head into Friday. Tampa Bay, Montreal, tied at 1. I'm going to give the first one to Canada. I think the Lightning are just kind of off their footing. I think they need to find a footing, need to really get into this playoff series. They haven't been able to do that thus far. This is the slide we're on, so I will slow it down a little. Vegas and Utah. I took Utah. I think that's fair. I don't really know much about Utah, but I know that for a fact they like to fight, go deep into playoff series. I think they need one. Now I'm going to take Edmonton to get one in Anaheim. I just think they're not going to lose 2. I don't think McDavid's going to allow it. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Carolina gets back at Iowa. I think that this team is just too good to lose 2 in a row. And I'm going to take, once again, Dallas. In Minnesota, I think same goes. They're not going to want to go down 3-1. And then I'm going to spill the end. I think Pittsburgh loses in 6. This Philly team looks way better. They're going to take at least 1 at home, but they really need it. I'm going to take Buffalo to get Boston. I think that they need to tie the series up. They're going to lose 2 straight. I'm going to take Colorado. Once again, sorry, Kings fans. Silas specifically, I don't think they get it done. It's just, it's rough. This is just a rough thing. Did I not already do this game? I might be lying. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I think they bounce back. I swear to God I did that game already. And I'm going to take Anaheim at the bottom here to take down Edmonton, tie the series up at 2. So I have no series is ending in that. We do have to talk about college basketball. The national championship, in which I could not predict because both of my finalists were wrong. Aiden got the championship right, 69-63. UConn just played a little bit behind the entire time, and Michigan able to get the win. Very impressive what UConn's done, but you just got to do a little bit more if you want to win the national championship against the best team by a mile headed in. So, congrats to Michigan. I think they well deserved it. They are primed for a bounce back, a run at back-to-back chance. I think any team is really to make the tournament, but we'll see. That is college basketball season, and we got one more thing to do. MLB. Now, obviously, we haven't been here in 2 weeks, so some of these games have already happened, being recorded on Wednesday. I don't know the scores of the first 2 games, so we're going to eliminate these 2, and they did not play on Monday. We're going to eliminate this Tuesday game. I do know what happened here. I'm just going to give Pittsburgh this one, and then I'm going to give Texas this one. I think Texas wins the series. They do great. Philly, a 4-game series against Chicago. I got to be honest, I don't know what happened in those first few, but I'm going to give them the first one in Chicago, and I think, actually, I'll use a different color. I think they lose against Chicago on that one. Milwaukee. This is a very tough series because I think the first one we definitely get. We got Skeens. I think we take the first two and we lose the last one. I think that's reasonable, and then we lose to St. Louis on Monday. I'm going to be completely honest. I think Atlanta takes all 3 against the Phillies. They did absolutely nothing in that. This actually might have already happened. I'm going to absolutely make sure that this didn't already happen. No, it didn't. I swear to God. It's right here. Yeah, they got decimated in these 3 games against Atlanta. They really were just on their ball. I will give the Phillies one game. I'll give them that first one with Painter, but I don't think they win the other 2. Yeah, this series right here, Philly has never looked more hopeless, and now they go into Atlanta. I just don't think they get the job done. That'll do it. Very quick, because, my thing just doesn't want to do its job. Like, the mic just didn't want to do its job. I don't know if it was the mic or the camera, but we get through a quick one. I'm going to probably have to turn the audio up, so the audio is going to be a little choppy, but that's the price you pay for not checking beforehand. That'll do it. See ya!